Hello, hi, my name's Hannah and I'm here today at Haynes Ford Maidstone to present to you the Ford Mustang Mach-E. So today I'm joined by Matthew and Shane. So Shane, would you mind giving us a rundown of what we're going to go through tonight?
Yeah, thank you, Hannah. Yeah, we've got a very exciting event for you planned in store. We are going to be talking to Sean from Quadrica Cars, who's done a review with you the other day, which we're going to be sharing. We've got some competitions to give away as well. I've got some prizes. So in my back pocket here, I have a Mach-E wireless charger. We've got 5 of these to give away. All you need to do is like and share our post, and next week we will be picking 5 lucky winners from random. That's happening as well. We've done a Mach-E Mach-1 challenge, which has been done with the sales team, where they've taken the 2 cars around Kent. And we've also got a video on how to use a public charge point, which is one of the questions we quite often get asked. Over to you, Hannah.
Right, so because of the current global climate and the pandemic, I feel like I need to address this first. So throughout tonight, we're going to be adhering to social distancing and government guidelines just to make sure that everyone stays as safe as possible. Okay, so to address the elephant, or stallion in the room, should I say, this is the new Ford Mustang Mach-E. And I know for some people, that maybe buying an electric car is a point of anxiety, and because you don't want to be stuck somewhere without a full charge of battery, worrying if you can get home or get to your final destination in charge. But today I hope I can help convince you and reassure you that that is no longer a problem you need to worry about. So Matthew, would you like to expand on how people don't need to worry about battery anymore?
Absolutely. There is a range of different models with standard range and extended range. This particular car is an extended range. The extended range rear-wheel drive version, we'll cover a little bit more about the different versions, has a range of up to 379 miles on a single charge. So I would challenge any driver to be able to drive that sort of distance without them needing to stop. And of course, it's very easy to charge your car whilst you're having a coffee or a comfort break. Charging stations all over the place. You can use the Ford Pass app, it will find locations for you, all the navigation in the car. I know within a mile of Haynes, there are 10 different charging locations available. So there really are plenty of places to charge your car whilst you're out and about. Really don't need to worry about it. And we will be showing some examples of just where you can charge it as we go through this evening.
Exactly. When you're trying to think about electric cars now, we don't want you to be thinking about the limitations that they hold. We want you to think of the possibilities that you can do with them, the environmental impact that you no longer have to think about when you're using your petrol or combustion engine cars. So, well, now that we are addressed that the electricness is no longer something you need to worry about versus combustion engines and the places where you can charge your car, I think sometimes for people they think about that there's a bit of anxiety of how you actually charge your car. So I know when I first passed my driving test to drive a combustion engine car, I was a bit cautious about how to actually fill up my car with a full tank of petrol without annoying the other drivers around me and the staff who are actually at the petrol station. So Shane has put a nice video together for you just to show you how easy it is to charge your vehicle.
Hi, I'm Shane. I'm the new car sales manager from Haynes Ford in Maidstone. A lot of the questions that we're getting asked by our customers regarding electric vehicles is how and where to charge them. I'm actually going to talk to you about the Polar station that you see here. This is part of the BP Charge Master system. You can download an app on your phone and use it on your phone, or you can just turn up as a guest and use it the way that we're going to demonstrate to you now. Walk up to the machine, hit the guest button, accept how you're going to pay for it. Just with a credit card, just tap it. That's now going through. That's now all been verified. We can now pick up the charger that we want to use. We're going to use the Type 2 connector. pop it into the car, pick the one that we're using, and there we go. The car is now connected to the charger and will now start charging. And it's as simple as that.
So as you can see, charging your vehicle is so easy. It's child's play. Anyone could do it. I think I could do it, and I haven't even had a go at it yet, so I'm sure anyone can. Right, so when we touched a bit on the battery, but what are the distances? We spoke the 379 miles of this model that the battery can do, but do you think that we could, I think we did. We did a little challenge to put the Mach-E against the Mach-1 last week. So we put Matthew in the Mach-E, and what did we get up to?
Well, we took two cars, the Mach-E and the Mach-1, with myself and Callum. Started off both with about the same level of fuel or distance to empty range, so about 290 miles, just to see what actually happened if we took the cars on a decent run. So we headed off to the coast on a beautiful English summer's day just to see how these two cars compared and how far they would go.
Right, so let's see how that went down. So I'm back here again at Haynes Ford Maidstone, and I've come to set a challenge for the new cars consultants. So you guys are going to have an envelope each. We're going to open them together at the same time. Yeah. And once you've had a little read, we'll set off, and I'll see you guys back here later.
So the challenge, Callum, is that we have to head around the coast again, taking as many beaches and landmarks as we can to see who gets back with most range. So how much fuel have you got in yours? 293. Perfect. I've got 290 miles in the Mach-E, so let's see who gets back with most range left.
We'll see how they got on in a bit, but currently, can you mind telling people what model we have currently here in the showroom?
Okay, so this one is an extended range all-wheel drive. We can tell that because there are some appearance differences between the rear wheel and all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive has the bigger wheels, the red calipers, the gloss black wheel arches and mirror caps, so we can tell visually this is an all-wheel drive version. There's slight differences on the front of the car as well. It's extended range. Not only does that give it a bigger battery with that longer driving range capability, it's also got the full glass panorama roof. It's got the Bang & Olufsen surround sound system with 10 speakers and the sound bar right across the front of the dashboard, and the 360-degree cameras. So we've got cameras not only front and back, but also underneath the wing mirror. So as you're manoeuvring, it shows on the touchscreen, which I'll show you in a little while, the full 360-degree image around the car. So prices start from just over 41 for a rear-wheel drive standard range, going through to about 57 for a car like this with the higher specification range.
So this car also, as another safety feature, has reverse beeping sound sensors. So because electric cars are quite quiet, when you sometimes go down the street, you don't hear them, and you always comment, you say, oh, I didn't hear that car. And when you're reversing or driving around small spaces, that can be a point of concern, especially with small children. So with the Ford Mach-E, they did actually take into consideration, and when you're now reversing, there is a reversing sound that will announce the car is reversing to reduce any risk of anyone or anything becoming harmed. So I think it's about time we see how the guys got on in their challenge.
We've just arrived at the Royal St George's Golf Course. We're here to catch a bit of the opens. I'm on 176 miles to go. What have you got, Matthew?
I've still got 210 remaining, so far I'm doing better than you.
Win-win for the Mach-E then.
So Matthew, what model type of colours can people get this car in?
There is a range of colours which customers can see, or potential customers can all see online. So the way you order a Mach-E is on ford.co.uk. Colours are all on there. This is infinite blue, beautiful colour. Limited availability for this colour, but it's still, the rest of the range is available in silvers, blacks, grey, metallic red. Our demonstrator is a rapid red extended range all-wheel drive. So if you would like to try driving a Mach-E for yourself with a view to purchase, that's available for test drive. Please give us a call on 01622 756 781 and we can arrange a test drive for you. There will be some more colours coming with the announcement we have later on about another model.
You almost teased it then. You almost teased it. I personally will say, though, the Rapid Red is incredible. That's the one that I test drove. And the interior red stitching, it matches it perfectly, as well as the red calipers. Not wanting to put any bias across, but that personally would be my choice. Right, so should we have a look inside just to show you some of the extra features that this car can give you?
Absolutely. So one of the extra features as you go into the car is the e-latch. So to open it, all you do is touch on the side, the door springs open, and it opens itself. Same on the back doors, there's no door handles. There's a little catch if needed. There is also a PIN number on the side that lights up, so you can get into the car using a PIN number and lock it with a PIN number. So a couple of weeks ago, I went kayaking after work, didn't know what to do with my keys. This would have been ideal. I could leave everything secure in the car, knowing I wasn't going to drown the key whilst I was out. Anyway, hopping into the car. So if I just start up, that will wake up the 15.5-inch touchscreen here, which shows us navigation, entertainment, trip computer information, all sorts of information on here. And it will learn how you use the car and what you use those frequently. So the cards out the bottom here will adjust to what you use. So the car learns your behaviours. Showing us on the navigation there at the moment, if I go to a slightly larger screen on that, there is a charger just over there. So I mentioned before, the car shows where they are this by. You can customise your settings and so on here. So if you touch the Mach-E at the top there, that shows you different drive modes. Currently in Untake, which is the right drive mode for the car. You can choose whether you want to have a propulsion sound, but we've already mentioned the extended range has the sound system, which is crystal clear as you turn it up. I think there was footage when we were driving the car of me driving around Deal with the radio rather loud, luckily not singing along. You can go in and change various other things. So if you go to settings, customise and personalise the car. And personal profile, add your name, link your seat position, your driving preferences. It will move, store your personal. That's a more regenerative driving style. You really need to drive the car using just the accelerator. The brake pedal is to make it will work, so it's not so, but you can save all that.
Exactly. So Matthew and I could have our own set of keys, and as each one of us respectively approaches the car, it will then know which one of us hopefully is going to drive, unless we're fighting to see who gets to drive it today.
Like taller position.
Gives you the extra leg room. But exactly, it saves any arguments or qualms that could possibly pop up. Right. So I think it's about time we see how the Mach-E and the Mach-1's final results came in. Welcome back, guys. I'm sorry the weather didn't hold out as we might have hoped, but how'd you guys get on?
Yeah, shame about the weather, rubbish weather, but brilliant cars, loved it. I've come back have gone around Whitstable, all the way around the coast of Dover, 139 miles left. So Callum, how's yours?
We ended up with 98 miles left to empty.
Ooh. So it's not that close,
not
but
used as much fuel.
I think the Mach-E might have walked away with this one. But did you guys have fun?
Yeah, it's a good day. Brilliant car.
Good day? Yeah, about time to go watch some football.
It is about time.
Just got to put a small apology there for Matthew's mic cutting out a little bit. I hope you got a feel for the interior of the car and the capabilities that this screen has. But be all end all, it's got every gadget and gizmo you could possibly want from a car and then some. But I heard that someone has a concern about the lead lines of the car. Do you mind expanding on that? Yeah.
What do we mean by lead lines?
I'm not too sure. I think Sheen's going to come and help on this one.
There you go. Perhaps we can clarify what that means. We had a question come in from Naheed, and he said one of the things that's putting them off is the long lead times. Now, I know Ford have done something about the lead times in order to find quicker cars. If Matthew could expand on
lead times. That makes more sense then.
My error.
Thank you. Sorry. Yes, the times for the car are all available online. So when you go and configure and find your specification, it will show you on there. They are generally down to about 12 weeks lead time. Now, we know that customers have been waiting a long time if they pre-ordered a car, but generally now availability is pretty good and you should be able to find one within about 12 weeks. What we found is a lot of cars have actually turned up a little bit quicker than that, so I think Ford may be erring on the side of caution. Have a look online. Hopefully you'll then be pleasantly surprised at how quickly one will turn up.
Perfect. Right, so as we know, the Mach-E did beat the Mach-1 in our tour challenge, which I was very happy with, because I'm a big advocate of the Mach-E. I would hate to see it the other way around. But we do understand that this isn't quite what people always expected when they wanted to see the first electric Mustang. I understand that. I've always been a big fan of the Mustangs. Ever since back to 67 is my personal favourite. But this is something completely different. And they've put their foot out in the dark, and they've done something incredible with this car. And I think it's only right that I talk to someone who actually is, to my words, a professional on all things Mustang. So I'd like to bring on a guest called Sean Hopper from Quadriga Cars, who I did a review with on this car last week, and let's just see how that went down.
Ford branching out into the electric.
Yeah, it's brave.
Their toe in the water is very brave.
Yeah, but let's face it, it's where it's going.
Yeah, it has to. It's like we're saying, it's not necessarily the Mustang that people predicted or they all like Mustang Club wanted,
right.
But it's the car that the future needs, because it's the bridge between style and the environment.
Hey, that's good.
That's impressive. First thoughts, sitting in it, how are you feeling?
It's modern.
It's modern.
It's going to be in it. Yeah.
It is.
It's modern.
It's comfortable.
I like the top-up display. I don't like my 67.
you pull it 1 inch, it doesn't turn.
No, it doesn't. No. Whoa! Yeah, that
See
picks
that
up.
even there, it's quite nifty.
It is a difference between a rock concert and watching Swan Lake. This gets the tick because at the weekend I can go out on a Mustang and go mental. In the week, you go out in the electric Mustang.
So here I have the one and only Sean Hopper from Quadriga Cars, who restores Mustangs for a living. Nice to have you here, Sean.
Thank you.
I hope it came across how much fun we had doing the review of the Mach-E. It was fun, wasn't it?
It was really fun. To be honest, it took me by surprise. It really did.
Yeah. Do you still think you hold your opinion that this could be your new weekday car?
I do, to be fair. We looked at another E-range car earlier in the week, and I must admit, this is some 14,000 cheaper.
And then some, yeah.
And some, yeah. And the range is the same. What I was really impressed with, actually, is the roof line, because, I'm 6'4", and I drive a big SUV at home, and actually it's higher. And what I was quite impressed with is actually when you sit in the cabin, very low down, and you've got lots of headroom. So actually, it works very well as an SUV. I didn't see it as an SUV to begin with.
It's the size that kind of catches you out, because it gives you so much space in such a small area.
SUV, big, clunky. It's just not, is it?
It's not massive, guys, girls. It's not massive.
No.
Yeah, and the thing is, to begin with, let's just think about this badge. Yeah? Let's just think about the prancing horse that I look back to in the '60s. The Bullet, the Steve McQueen, and all the new films that have come out. Which people who know me know I love the Mustangs for this. But you need to drive these things, because the internal combustion engine, the way that the performance is delivered, especially on the new S550 and the MY18, which is the new Mustang. What are they like? 495, 500 horsepower at the most, and naturally aspirated. The thing is with that is that the cam lobe has to be at the max RPM to actually give you that horsepower. You haven't got it at 0. This has got it at 0. And when we took this out, even though this is, what is this, 51,000?
57,000.
Oh, there you go, 57,000 this one. Actually, it's rapid. It's really rapid. So I think for me, looking at the SUV market, there's the Jag, is it the Jag I-Pace? We looked at the Audi e-tron, and then the Mercedes has got the EQ. Out of all of them, really, being a Mustang guy, is this. And to be honest, we have a natural progression of cars, don't we? When Mercedes Daimler brought out the first one over 100 years ago, what happened is Henry Ford come along, and bam, Henry Ford literally just did the Ford, as we all know. And to be fair, this is the evolution. And what were they to do? Think about it, all right? We all had this controversial when we heard about this badge going onto an electric car. What was they to do? Think about it. If you took the badge off and you put it out here, and we're in Haynes at Maidstone, if you put it out in the parking lot, literally this is from a Mustang. All the rear lights, all the lines, it's Mustang. And to be fair, they've done a cracking job on this. They really have. And if we're going down this road so that literally at the weekends we can have these internal combustion engines, we still can go down Lidl racetrack and go racing, all this sort of stuff. If this is the future, which it is, we know it is, then we've got to go with it. And for me, I really enjoyed it, and it's changed. And I've just learned something as well. The code on the side, how cool is that?
It's handy, isn't it?
That's really cool. We go mountain biking a lot, me and my wife and my son, and to have, you know, keys and...
Means you don't have to worry about losing
I didn't
extra
realise
things.
that. You just put a code in the door. That's cool.
The small things you don't, it's
That is
overlooking,
cool.
isn't it?
It
and
is,
for
it
the
is.
value of the price, it's like I said before, I personally think it's so undervalued. But what I found personally from driving it that for me was a big comparison point to still existing in my mind as a Mustang is the speed. When you think of Mustangs, you think power, you think that fast pull away, and it beat the Mach-1 when going around roundabouts. It just took off.
When we went for the review, I must admit, when you drove it for the first time, and then I got in it and drove it, there was a point where I got used to driving it, and I did give it some, and I remember your face.
I was like,
it was a picture, because these cars go, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and what's the Tesla? The Tesla X, it's like over 100,000.
Oh, the price is, it's not comparable.
And to be fair, looking at these cars, I mean, it's so cost effective. It makes sense.
So the Mach-E, this model gets to 62 miles per hour, not 60, 62 miles per hour in 5.7 seconds, which is insane. And from a rolling start, 5.1 seconds. And when we took it out, I think that either 5 seconds is a lot shorter than you think it is, or this car is a lot faster than they say it is, because this just took off, and I was so surprised. Got pushed back in my seat a little bit, which was quite a pleasant feeling actually, because I wasn't expecting it at all from an electric car. But would you say that this still has the Sean stamp of approval then?
Yeah, to be fair. And the reason why I say this is because people talk about us being forced into this. I don't know if we're being forced into it. I just think it's a natural progression, I really do. And I'm into all things like this. You know, I went to the concourse in London recently and they had the Lotus electric. And, you know, and the way the electric is going is incredible. So for the Mustang, which I love, I think if we're going down this road, which we are, they've done a cracking job on this. And to be fair, the people that are really into the Mustangs like me and were a bit controversial to begin with about this, you need to come and see this. You need to come down to Maidstone, you need to take this out and actually view it and feel it, and actually the speed of it as well. You know, I know we go on about this, but the linear speed, using the word linear again, it's just from the start to stop, it's incredible. And to be fair, that's what you don't get from the internal combustion engine. I love the noise. You can tell I'm auditory. I'm loud. I love big supercharged engines, but actually, yeah, these are pretty cool.
All right, thank you, Sean.
No worries.
And for this full review of us two with this, it will be found on the Haynes Ford Maidstone YouTube channel, as well as the MMS 360 channel and Quadriga Cars. Right, so I think it's time that we talk about you guys putting some orders in. So with the Mach-E, it is not limited to just this area from this sales room. So Haynes deliver all around the country. You do not need to worry about where you are. They will get it to you, won't they, Matthew?
Absolutely. So when you're configuring your order online, you can select us as your chosen dealership, regardless of where you're in the country, and we will deliver it and bring it to you.
Exactly. So there's no excuses, exactly. Or if you want to take it for a test drive as well, make sure to get in contact. And also, they offer commercial or sort of...
Yes, so we've got one vehicle available for personal test drives. That obviously is based here in Maidstone. That's available for individual test drives. But we can make a different car available. So if there are any companies that are interested in perhaps a small fleet order, we can loan a car for extended test drives to help convince that the Mach-E fleet would suit your business and your needs.
And I'm warning you, if you take it out, I think you'll be putting in a few orders because it's
quite
addictive. It's exactly jinx.
Must be right.
Do we have some questions from Shane?
Yep. Hi Hannah. Yeah, we do. We've got a couple of questions. Alison's asked how much on average does it cost to home charge the car? Just a ballpark figure, really.
That is something I've had a look into actually, because several people have asked that. It will depend on exactly what you're paying for your home electricity, but putting that question into a well-known search engine does take you some quite useful websites. Figure I got from one of the big electric charging websites was about £13 to fully charge a Mach-E overnight at home. To put the equivalent amount of distance into your car, petrol or diesel, will probably cost you about £32. So I think the saving was something about £19 on an equivalent distance in an electric car compared to a internal combustion. So about £13 for a home charge.
They estimated it was about 17p per mile, which is insane. It's pennies.
I thought it was less than that actually when we were talking about it.
Could
We'll
be
check
less.
that.
We'll check that. We have another one.
There's another one, just from the heat again. We've talked about lead times earlier. He's just asking, and I think you covered it earlier, Matthew, but if you ordered a car, there is a chance that your cars can come through sooner, but it's something I think we need to check every day because cancelled stock is appearing all the time. So if there's any orders that weren't available, they are becoming available, and customers can get them. Is that right?
That's right. Ford are updating the inventory online where customers can check and have a look for the cars. We're seeing that change as vehicles become available and so on. So do keep an eye, just because the car's not there one day, if you're not quite ready to commit because of a lead time, have a look back. There might be a car available the next day. Or give us a call and we'll look for you.
That's great. That's all the questions I've got there now.
Perfect. I think
we've got...
Yeah, I think it's about time we do our big announcement. Exactly. So we teased about it earlier, but today Ford have announced the price range and the big unveiling of the Mustang Mach-E GT. So if we'd like to show you a bit about that, and then Matthew can tell you all about it.
Here we go. The Mustang Mach-E GT is coming. People have been asking about it for a very long time. Pricing confirmed today at £67,225. Comes in either grey, the grabber blue that we're seeing on the video there, or in orange. So if you want a bright Mach-E, you can certainly now have one. 0 to 63.7 seconds, so if the standard 5 seconds-ish isn't quick enough, there is a faster one, which then also has Magna Ride suspension as standard. It has bigger wheels, bigger brakes, sports seats, so it's very much a tuned, higher performance Mach-E. And as we can see on the video there, it has a different styling to the front with the grille to it. So beautiful looking car, now available to order.
It's almost the muscle version of an electric car, if that even can exist. It's faster, it's more powerful, and I already know people who have put their orders in already.
We have had one come through this afternoon already.
Exactly. I think it's been the most sought after version, if I'm honest.
People have been asking for a long time, and actually 67,000 for that sort of performance, that certainly compares very favourably with the cars that Sean was mentioning earlier.
Yeah, so I think Sean will be very excited if you want to come back. I can see him smiling at the side. He wants to come.
What did you just say?
It's a speed Mustang GT.
So how much? 60?
£67,225.
Very precise.
And 3.7 seconds to 60?
Yep.
Yes.
Ooh, when are we reviewing that?
Order one, Sean, and you can review your own.
That sounds amazing.
It's not too good to be true, though, that it's still electric and it's giving you all the power and capabilities that you could want from a car, with all the space as well.
All the practicality,
they can still be
with
functional. Exactly. They can be fun and functional. Nothing can hold you back anymore. So do we have any more final questions?
No, that's it for the questions. There are a few on here that we're going to get back to you over the next few days, so we will go back to every question that's been asked. But on the question side, that's everything. The Mach-E Mach 1 challenge video is going to be live on Monday on our website and on our Facebook channels, as is the fuel charging one, and as you mentioned earlier, the review that you and Sean have done is also going to be live as well.
So make sure to stay on top of all of Haynes Ford social media channels, especially their YouTube and Facebook, MMS 360 Media and Quadriga Cars, because all the information and all sorts of usage of the car that you might be interested with will be put up on Monday. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this as much as we have, talking about the new Ford Mustang Mach-E, and make sure that if you want a test drive, to give us a call here or put your orders in online and choose Haynes, please. Right, so thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening.